Welcome, 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 welcome to another episode
No, I like that. Go with it.
of I was about to say the podcast that I'm mimicking right now, but I don't want us to get sued.
Is that how they
No.
start?
Um,
Yeah, often.
yeah, often.
Yeah. But this is Fuck Wellness, an original podcast.
With original
By
ideas.
by the three girls.
Yep.
And Ryan's spread eagle in the back.
Yeah, Ryan, why are you spread eagle in the camera?
Oh my God. Mal, I gotta hand it to you. I couldn't live with a man if someone paid me $1 million.
They're kind of adorable though. I do like them.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
I live with two men, so
Yeah. We live with a boy.
We live with a furry boy.
yeah, Fitz is not a man, actually. Let me just definitely clarify that. He licks his pee in many times a day.
And men don't do that.
I mean, if they're really flexible, they probably do.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Okay.
That made me sad.
Okay.
Oh, Mal, I've been meaning to ask you if you've seen the newest rom-com on Netflix. The one, what is it called? It's like all over everything right now on Netflix.
One day.
One day.
Mhm.
I have not seen it.
Okay.
No, I have not. Is it good?
I haven't seen it. I just thought that
Oh.
it'd be something that you would probably want to watch.
Yeah, I do. I did finally see Anyone But You, which I texted you guys about. It was in theaters. It's
Okay,
like,
is that Sydney Sweeney?
yeah, so it's the
Okay.
rom-com with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, and it was 10 out of 10.
Really?
It was so, so good.
Really?
Did
Hmm.
people hate it?
No, it just
Oh.
We
like
don't know.
it just has so much drama beneath the surface, you know?
I don't know the drama.
Oh, everyone thinks they fucked hardcore.
Well, I hope they did because they have chemistry. I'm fully fine if they. Well, are they married? Is that
I think
They one got a divorce and one broke up with a boyfriend. I
Wait,
think
really?
Glenn got a divorce, yeah, during this movie. Don't again, don't fact check me.
I mean, I have to say, I am not really into blonde men. Like, I'm really not a blonde, that has never been my type. But Glenn Powell, I mean, in this movie, I left it. I was like, Ryan, that's the hottest man alive. Like, and
That's hot
that is
take.
something that I've never said about Glenn Powell. Like, Glenn Powell has been in so many movies, and I'm like, yeah, he's an objectively good-looking guy. In this movie, the smirks and like
He's got
the
Riz
like
in this movie.
banter, yeah, the Riz, it was off the charts.
Okay.
Whereas Ryan was like saying the same thing about Sydney Sweeney, which I totally get too,
Yeah.
Yeah, I get Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah. No, I think you can't watch the like, even if you don't think Glenn Powell is attractive, you will watch this and be like, okay.
I
Okay.
see
I
it.
mean, I see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Do they show you juicy stuff in the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like X rated, but yeah, no, there's some R stuff in there for sure.
I'm on board for that.
Yeah. Anyway, 10 out of 10, we'll watch again.
Okay. I'm waiting. We need to wait until it gets out of theaters.
Yeah, Isabel described it as an Emily Henry book, but in movie form.
I literally
that-
was gonna, when you said 10 out of 10, I was gonna be like 10 out of 10, like Emily Henry book.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like an Emily Henry book came to like the movie screen.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, very good. Witty banter. Yeah. Anyway, but I'll watch one day and report back.
Okay, perfect. Maybe we can do that too. I just think it's
Yeah.
gonna be sad, and I'm a
That's
little
why I've been
worried about that.
procrastinating it.
Yeah, same. But everyone seems to like it.
Yeah. We've been watching Love is Blind, so I'm just behind a little bit on like non-reality TV. It's like right now The Bachelor is on and Love is Blind just
Yeah.
dropped, so I'm like
Wow.
really deep in reality TV world.
I haven't gotten into Love is Blind, but I think I might need to
I love Love is Blind.
because the lore is everywhere.
Yeah. It's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Mallory.
I'm Lara.
And I'm McKenna.
And we have had a hot minute since it's been a solo up with the three of us.
Oh yeah.
because we did a Lara Mal
Yeah.
duo, and then we did a Lara Ken duo, and then we did a Lara Ken Mal Anna
Yeah.
foursome,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're here. Also, another foursome with Ryan's fucking
Spread eagle legs.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he's just a man. What can I say?
Mhm.
It's just locker room talk, you know?
Yeah, this is locker room talk. We're retitling our podcast.
Reclaiming.
Welcome to the locker
That is
room.
a great name for an all women podcast. Is that not like a 10 out of 10 name?
Do you
Yeah.
think that if we had if we like just put our initials, like hid our identities, just put our initials, and then had branding that wasn't, our branding, do you think we could trick men into listening?
Maybe. Well, I just want to see if it exists actually.
I'm sure someone has said that. I don't know. It feels likely.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that locker room talk sounds like it would be like a podcast where three women talk about like women's sports.
Oh,
That also makes sense. A man literally has a podcast called Locker Room Talk. I feel like a man can't have a podcast called that.
well, men shouldn't do a lot of things, but they continue
Oh.
to do so.
Okay, it's actually trying to destigmatize mental health for men, so
Okay.
that's nice.
Fuck.
And
So
fuck
sorry.
all of
So
you.
sorry. Bow down to that.
Wow.
Okay.
Dang. Watch my words.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get a wellness check on Mal, who spent over the allowed time at a place. Take it away, Mal.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Great. Really smooth transition. Yeah, so I don't know if we've talked about this much on the podcast, but I am a poll worker.
Not
at
just
my-
that. You are a leader.
Yes, I am a leader at my precinct.
I almost texted you, "Hey, Captain," that morning, and I didn't.
And yeah, so basically our precinct has 4,600 voters at it, more or less. Arlington County is one of the counties with the most precincts, not because we have the most voters, but because we're very pro-democracy and everyone should be able to be within walking distance of their precinct.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Tuesday was Virginia's presidential primary, not its primary for anything else. So the only thing on the
Whoa.
ballot was president. And in Virginia, you don't have to be affiliated with a party. So anyone can come in and pick either the Republican or the Democratic ballot. And it doesn't matter to us like what party you think you are. You're allowed to choose either, which I really like. That you don't have to be like affiliated with a party to get a certain ballot. But yeah, so I mean, on one ballot, you had Donald Trump and some other Republicans on it, it was interesting because some of them hadn't dropped out by the time Virginia had put the ballots together. So they still had some other candidates on it. And then on the Democratic ballot, it was still Marianne Williamson, Joe Biden, and Dean Phillips. So anyway, yeah, it was a good day overall. We only had, I don't know, roughly like 200 voters at our precinct come vote. A lot of Arlington does early voting and absentee though. So I'm sure it was, maybe like a 40% turnout rate. Yeah, I was there from 5 a.m. until 9 p.m.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, it's a double shift for me.
So much time.
Yeah, but I love it. It's so fun. Ryan has to bring me all my meals because we can't leave the building.
Oh,
Yeah.
why
Because
can't you pack your lunch?
no, I could pack my lunch.
Oh,
It just there's no
But what's the point of
refrigerators or
having a
anything.
man, Lara?
Yeah, you're so right.
Yeah.
Just kidding,
No-
Ryan. We love
And there's
you.
there's no microwave. Like I would just have to figure out, I would have to figure out things that don't need to be warmed,
It's the least he could do for democracy. You're
Yeah.
already doing
Yeah.
so much.
I live 3 blocks from the precinct, so he can walk over. But yeah, it was great. So, but now I am very tired.
On a poll hangover.
Yeah, democracy is making me yawny. Yeah.
There were a
anyway.
lot of voting places near us. Near our house, there was at least 4 within a few blocks. One out of a private home, which I
Wow.
found fascinating.
The one in the garage?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Very
really
interesting.
interesting.
I was like, it was like a normal house that we walked by, and it's kind of in the fancy area. And I was like, it was like, vote here. And I was like, where in the house? And it was, they opened up their garage.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
in California, do you have to vote at your precinct?
No.
No, we were actually, Laura and I, when we filled out our ballots, were saying that it would be quite stressful to vote at a physical location if you hadn't done your research first,
There was so much on our ballot.
So much.
Yeah, so in Virginia, you have to vote at your assigned precinct. If you go to another precinct, you can't vote there.
But if you vote early, what does that look like? You mail in or you
You go
drop
to
off?
the county center, like
You have to vote in person?
no, you could do absentee, but you have to sign up for that ahead of time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, so I don't know what the law is other places, but if you get in the like station and you realize that you don't know any of the candidates, you can use your phone in there. Like there's no like lots of people when there's like 7 things on the ballot, they'll get in and be there for like 30 minutes researching
Okay.
things. So I
That makes
recommend doing
sense.
that ahead of time. But if you get in there and you panic, you're all good.
Yeah, for some reason I imagine it as like you're taking SATs. Like you're not
Yeah.
allowed anything other than your pencil and your brain.
Yeah.
Voters can honestly pretty much do anything.
Mm.
Like they're allowed to wear, like we can't wear anything, obviously party affiliation. Our water bottles can't have political stickers on them, like all of that. But voters can wear anything. They can pretty much do anything. Because like, at least in Virginia, all of the laws are, there's nothing that we can really, there's not much we can restrict voters on.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like we have pretty lenient ID laws. I'm sure California does too.
Yeah. I love that.
Okay, enough about elections because who wants to hear about that?
It is important, but we're done talking about it.
Yeah.
I've been
Um,
watching sorry, Val, just one
yeah.
last thing on that is I've been watching sometimes on like big podcasts, like huge podcasts. Do you guys ever just take a peek at their reviews section? Because I really like doing that because some of the podcasts that I love and adore get absolutely trashed in the reviews.
Really?
Just destroyed. Because I think you get to a certain level of success where it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't really matter what the reviews say. Like you have people that love you and then you have people that hate you. But now all the ones are rolling in where it's like just I used to love this podcast, but I just can't with the politics anymore kind of vibe. I was like,
Mhm.
but you could also just keep that to yourself. So,
Mhm.
anyways, that's just my note on that.
Freedom of speech,
Yeah, freedom of speech. We actually do support that.
Yeah. Most of the time, yeah. I told you guys that I signed a lease, right? For a
No.
new
No.
apartment. Oh, yeah. Um,
Is
surprise!
it the one that you applied for?
No.
Oh my God. A new player enters the chat.
Yeah, I think the last time I told you we had applied to an apartment, but I hadn't given any updates. But it turns out this apartment sort of fell apart fell apart in front of our eyes is the words I was
Okay.
looking for.
Okay.
AKA, we just found out some bad things about the building. And so
Like
we
drama?
no, just like things that they don't tell you during the tour that you have to find in the reviews,
Mm.
Um,
Wait, can you
so
give an example?
yeah, like they don't have this sounds actually very elitist when I say it because I realize I don't think most buildings have this, but like they don't have individual AC and heat in each room. The whole
Oh,
building manages it. And so there's a lot of complaints about the building's way too hot and then it's
yeah.
way too
Oh,
cold and
yeah.
Wow, you
people
couldn't do
can't
that. You're sensitive to temperature.
so sensitive. Yeah. Um so yeah, there was that and then they have a mail service that is apparently just really shitty. Like they use a third party and they lose a bunch of packages and they
Hmm.
charge you extra for it. Anyway, So we pulled out of that building, and then we went on a few more tours, and we went on 2 tours back to back. One was an apartment building in Crystal City, and it was a 1-bedroom den, 2 bathrooms, 1,100 square feet, beautiful hardwood floors, newly done, and it was on the 13th floor. It was like lovely, and so we loved that. And then we went and toured a duplex with a fenced in backyard, and I think Ryan and I both had a bit of an existential crisis. Like, is this, which life are we going to choose? Are we going to
Mhm.
choose the residential life, or are we going to choose the apartment life? I feel like I already told you guys this, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, we chose the apartment. We signed that lease, and yeah, as of today, it is our apartment.
Wow.
Oh my
Congrats.
gosh.
Yeah, we're moving on May 11th.
Wow. Okay, 2 months.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Time to pack this baby up.
Yeah.
In a month and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's exciting. I feel like that's one stressor off my plate.
When does your lease that you're in now end?
May 15th.
Oh, okay, so there's a little crossover. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yep. So that feels really good. And I'm really excited about our new building. I think I'm still a bit in grieving
Mhm.
this apartment in this neighborhood. And, you know, I won't be close to Meredith anymore. I won't be close to Connor and Sam anymore. So there's definitely, you know, there's big downsides to it too. But I think Ryan and I are both ready to have some more space and be in a new neighborhood. So
Yeah.
Will it take you longer to get to work?
no, it's 1 minute for the metro actually.
Oh my gosh, so close.
Yeah, like I literally don't even think you really need to fully walk outside to get there.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's gonna be it'll still be like 3 or 4 stops, which is the same as it is now. But the
Nice.
metro goes outside for one of the stops, which is I get to see the light outside.
That's kind
It's
of Hunger
wonderful.
Games moment.
Yes,
On the
it's
train.
very Hunger Gamesy. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So that's my life update.
Wow. I'm so excited for you too, because I feel like I love your current apartment, but it's tight. It's tight quarters.
Yeah, we're gonna have double the amount of space in this
That's
new apartment
amazing.
for only $200 more a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds
Wild
like a
stuff.
good trade.
Yeehaw. Okay,
Yeah.
you guys can talk about what's going on in your lives.
What's going on in our life, Ken?
I don't know. Take it away.
Um, I'm working at Trader Joe's. Still
Mm.
slinging the apples.
Lara, so
Yes, ma'am.
Ryan listened when I was editing the podcast a couple weeks ago where you were talking about physical space as a Trader Joe's employee, you know,
Yeah.
how Ryan listened to that and he was like, fuck, I do that all the time. And but anyway, I have to say now every time we're in Trader Joe's, I feel like we're both like so aware of both like how our body language is around them, but also just seeing how other people constantly cross that. So I feel like that was really life-changing for us.
Glass shattered.
Yeah, do you hear that? Can you say it in the mic, Ryan?
Glass shattered.
Glass shattered.
I will say sometimes when I do say excuse me or just let someone know that I'm moving in a direction, I feel like sometimes they're like shocked and like startled that I said something. So then I'm like, oh, did I just make it worse? But I think no.
Yeah. No, I honestly feel like I need to compile a list of just like the most basic rules that someone needs to follow when entering a public space. Because it's
Yeah.
really, I don't think people know the rules.
No.
It's
This would be
alarming.
this would be a great thing to write up, I think.
Yeah. And honestly, first person I'm taking it to is my dad. Presenting that baby right quick to Eric. Yeah. The physical space thing though, it's so intense and it makes me so just rattled inside of my body in an angry way.
Yeah. I didn't mean to derail you.
No.
I've
Yeah.
been thinking about that a lot.
And I honestly, I'm not joking. I feel like that needs to be a podcast episode of just like 5 top rules that you need to follow when entering a public space, but especially Trader Joe's and especially on a Sunday. Freaking monsters. But yeah, what else is happening in my life? We've been really kind of pushing ourselves to be social, which is really hard, as we've talked about many times before on the pod. But I don't know. I do think that I learn cool things about myself in stressful situations when I'm put in like big social things, especially when I'm alone. Like I feel like when I'm with Ken and we go into like a new social environment with new people, there's always just like a given comfort of like, sure, it will be uncomfortable, but I'm not going to be like struggle busing hardcore. But yeah, the ones by myself, it's like who's running the show, y'all? I don't know. But yeah. Ken, you got a list?
I have a little list. Is that all you have?
That's really, I mean, other things might come up, but
Oh, okay.
I
I
don't-
feel like there should be something there. We finished Pen 15. Mal, have you seen Pen 15? I don't know if you would like it or not. You might hate it, you might love it. I don't know.
I'm an
can't
enigma.
I can't get a read on that for you.
I think you would love it.
It's kind of silly.
Like, did you ever watch Eighth Grade or like anything? You know those movies that like just put you back into a feeling?
I hated 8th grade. So
Yeah, so you're gonna hate 10, 15.
I
You're gonna absolutely
literally,
hate it.
Dakota and I went and watched it, and it took me a few days to recover from that.
I kind of remember that.
Well, I've never seen 8th grade.
It's similar, but I would say Pen 15 takes it even a step further.
My body just shriveled up, so I'm a no.
Yeah.
It's sillier though than eighth grade. Eighth grade is more acted out. Pen 15, it's
Yeah.
a lot of like stuff that they just improv and it just works so well.
Okay, maybe.
No, she's out. She's out and
Yeah.
it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay because you're gonna watch one day, right?
Yeah.
One day. And that'll set the world right.
Okay. I want your things, Ken. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. I actually have quite a few things on my list. Number one. Wait, what order do I want to do this in? Let's think about this. Okay. I have a bunch of random things. Fitz clearly would like to join the podcast right now. My random things are number one. I sent a podcast episode to Lara, and I don't know if did you finish the human design up?
Yeah, I did.
I haven't finished it, so I don't know. Do you like it?
Yeah, I really liked it. There's just a lot of stuff that I don't know.
Yeah, I think I need to pull our chart so we can see them. I pulled Mal's before and mine, but I don't think I've ever pulled yours because I never knew what time you're born. Because Lara's mysterious. Anyways, at the beginning of this podcast, it's Sadie's podcast and we can link it, but she was talking about this idea of devotion over discipline. I'm so stressed.
Yeah, I actually can't handle that.
Fitz is just peeing all over the ground.
Oh, nice. Nice. You good, Mal? Okay.
I'm just sitting here. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, let's just rewind. Let's restart. Thanks so much. So Lara listened to this podcast. I listened to it. It's about human design. I haven't finished it, but at the beginning, Sadie was talking about this idea of devotion. And on this podcast, we used to talk a lot about discipline and just how that's kind of like a word that is a little bit scary. And in this, she rebranded not discipline, but just started using the lens of devotion to talk about why she liked doing certain things and why having devotion of something also allows you kind of the autonomy to ebb and flow with it. So if you have like a devotion to moving your body, right, that looks so many different ways. And anyways, I just love the idea of devotion because
I love that word.
it's a beautiful word. When I think about it, it feels like ease. It feels like I have power in it. And I've just been reframing everything I do in that lens, and I really like it.
Well, it just feels more like I feel pulled, like my being is being pulled to do something, and not, oh my God, the world is telling me that I should do this or do more of that, or I feel pressure to whatever.
Exactly. Exactly.
I feel like I don't have that like I don't feel warmth towards the word devotion. I don't know.
Interesting.
Really? Let's
Yeah, like I
unpack
think I
that.
see it very much in like a Catholic lens.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like it's hard for me to get out of like the like organized religion uses of the word. I haven't I just thought about it right now. So I mean, maybe if I thought about it more, but I like when I hear that word, I'm not like I don't have like a positive association with it.
So funny because religion wasn't even on my radar. Like it didn't even enter this field space at all.
No.
Yeah, it's so interesting because when I hear devotion, I think about like blind faith that ends up hurting people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Because I feel like
I'm
that's how
not
you use
trying to
it.
like shatter the glass here or
No.
anything. But it's just interesting. I feel like my like brain immediately just goes to Catholicism.
Interesting because you're also not Catholic.
No, but I'm
She's
married
well
to a
studied.
Catholic family.
Fair, yeah. So true.
Yeah, I'm married into a very Catholic, an Irish Catholic family.
Whoa.
Speaking of Irish, I um also have a big chunk of Irish in me. And I learned that in oh man, I shouldn't say things off the cuff because it doesn't ever go well, but I heard the story about like where fairies originated and like the lore around fairies, and a lot of it was in Ireland. And I'm just obsessed with that, and the stories are so interesting.
Don't
And
the Irish have so much lore?
yes, yes. But I like have never really connected. I'm just starting to, I feel like, to connect with my lineage. And for some reason I like really connect with that.
I love
That
that.
makes sense.
Um, do you like Irish soda bread?
I don't know if I could tell you what Irish soda bread is.
I don't couldn't either.
Really?
Mm-mm.
I don't know what it was. My mother, God love her, but I feel like we always did like made some Irish foods for like a holiday. Like it was like good luck to make a soup, an Irish soup on a holiday, and then we would always have like Irish soda bread. I don't know, but we have Trader Joe's sells an Irish soda bread kind of thing. It's called like the Blarney scone or something. And based off, do you know about the Blarney Stone?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Do you?
It's
Am I
kind of
saying that
funny.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's
Blarney
kind of
scone. Yeah.
funny,
Ba-bumch.
but I hate it. And I'm really trying to like it. I've eaten it quite a few times. I've toasted it. I've covered it in butter, peanut butter. I've put strawberry, banana on it. I'm really trying to doctor it up, and I don't enjoy it. And it has raisins in it, so I feel like that should make it sweet. It tastes like baking soda to me. But I love the consistency because
Is it dense?
it's dense. Shorty's dense. Like literally a weapon if we wanted to have one in the house.
Okay, so I will try it and report back, and I'm gonna report back on like 7 things at the next episode.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, please go try and go buy it and try it.
Yeah, no, I'm curious.
Also, Mal, another thing you should buy at TJ's if you have it are
Okay.
these new, well, it doesn't really matter for you as much, but for me it's huge. But there's little donut holes that are chocolate and they're gluten and dairy free.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on it.
They're pretty delicious.
They're so good.
Yeah. Well, interesting. Interesting soda bread intermission.
Yeah. Okay, we're back to the rice again.
No, it was a seamless transition.
An obvious
no,
sidebar when talking about
No.
Irish people.
It really,
Yeah, totally.
it really was. I'm already starting my little squirreling away for a 2025 Scotland and Ireland trip. And it's in my brain. And so now it's unmovable.
It's gonna happen.
Because if you've met me or anyone in my family, if it's in the brain, it's unmovable. Just kidding. We like to be movable on some things. I'm working on it. Anyways, what's next?
What's happening?
Cleaning up the pee, I think.
On the
Yeah.
bed? It got on the bed?
Yeah.
Oh,
But our blanket is
I
waterproof,
see.
so it's okay.
Okay. I have a couple other things.
Yeah, go get,
all right.
get
Take
at
them
it.
off the list. Let's hit them.
All right. I have a callback to Anna's episode last week, and it's partly a callback, and I don't think it deserves a full like apology. I'm trying not to apologize for things that I didn't do wrong, but I do think I would have corrected myself in this. And that is when Lara was talking about finding kinship in loving a cluttered home. I feel like I jumped in too quickly there to say that I don't know. You can listen to the episode to hear what I say, but I'm sorry for steamrolling that. And also, I have more thoughts on it that I want to talk about. Do we remember that exchange?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't feel steamrolled.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
I remember the exchange, but I don't remember thinking anything
Okay.
of it.
That's really good. I just have been thinking about it a lot.
I'm sure you have.
I'm sure you have.
And I wanted to offer some more insight to this because there's like behaviors that I do that I try and be really aware of, just like we were just talking about 30 seconds ago. That if I'm doing a behavior that's not really ultimately serving me or it's too rigid that it's kind of ridiculous, like it doesn't really make sense to have such a rigid mindset about something, I really like to reevaluate that and see how I can be a little more fluid and open because I don't know, you guys can let me know what you think, but I think 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I was way more rigid than I am today. Will we agree or disagree?
Agree.
Agree.
Perfect.
I
Why would you guys say
thought
that?
Lara was gonna go in with a hot no.
Just kidding. No, I'm really working on it. And it's something that's really important to me. However, with the home thing, I was like, is this something that I'm just like really rigid on? Like, does it, because I'm quite particular about my spaces. And I realized, not to bring us a little bit down, but a lot of my childhood was spent in homes that weren't safe or had like kind of represented um things that weren't safe. And a lot of that was surrounded with homes that were either dirty or messy. And I remember as a kid, like I would go to my little mind palace, which was really, perfectly constructed. And I would just imagine for hours and hours on end. I'd think about it before I went to sleep. Anytime I was uncomfortable, I would think about when I'm older and I have power over what I do, I'm going to live in a home that's so safe and so clean and doesn't have any of what's going on here, basically. And I was just thinking about that over the last few days because it's so cool that I've done that, right? Like I've gotten that, I'm living that out, things that I didn't think I was ever going to be able to do. And so I was just offering insight to that exchange because I think it's less about the actual space and more about what it represents.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like I knew all of that when you were saying it.
Yeah, that's because you're inside of my brain,
Because you're a
Mallory.
bestie.
No, I know I get that. I just mean like when you said that to Lara, yeah, I knew that it was coming from a deeper place. And I'm not saying that like I know, man, but I mean I knew that there was more depth to that. I feel like
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah, and because I feel really sensitive of like that's safety for Lara, right? And that's danger for me. And it's
Mhm.
really interesting to have those two things exist. And but the thing itself is not good or bad. It's not safe
Mhm.
or dangerous.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it just represents those things. And so it's even things, even like mess or clutter in different ways than that doesn't directly link my brain to my childhood is way more tolerable for me. Like Laura's room is way more tolerable for me because it doesn't have that same link. But sometimes even like a dish that's the same or a cup that's the same set sends me back to a place where I'm like, I can't actually use that because it reminds me of being powerless, and I hate that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Your brain was so powerful to like create a safe little garden that now you've created, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I've destroyed.
No. No. When
You
I was
bring
young,
balance, Lara.
Yeah, I bring balance. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, with my mind palace, when I was young, I used to, when I was really, really scared, I would imagine myself building a brick wall at the edge of my brain. And so like no one could get in. And you know those ASMR videos of like people like putting cement or whatever is
Yeah.
the thing that congeals the bricks together? I would do it like so perfectly, and I would just like take myself through like rep after rep. And now I really want to build a brick wall like in real life. Because I had to
This
mentally
sounds
destroy my brick wall because that wasn't healthy. And I did
That
that in
brick wall
therapy.
went
Yeah.
away.
But it does make me want to build a real brick wall.
I feel like that's so like fantasy smut of you. Because in
No,
all of them, they're like brains, they're like building the walls, and then they have like the little holes to let the like levers through, you know?
yeah. Mal, where do you think I got my personality?
Yeah, it's all making so much more sense in real time.
Yeah, connect the dots. Imagine like little McKenna reading only fantasy and then,
Yeah.
yeah, also living that life. So very interesting.
To expand back on this exchange, it literally took 1 second.
No, I shouldn't even have said that earlier part.
No, that's okay. I think it's really fascinating because even like talking about how we were like how my comment to Anna was more like, sometimes I feel weird amounts of shame for having not dirty spaces, but messy spaces. And I love seeing Anna's life and having it just kind of be on blast when people don't normally put that kind of stuff on blast. But talking about your childhood and like how that is unsafe for you, but safe for me, it's fascinating because I feel like that is safe for me because I always, growing up, like my house, I had an amazing upbringing and not to brag. But like my house
No
was very
aces, it's
safe.
fine.
Yeah. Like my house was very safe for me and I feel so unbelievably lucky for that. But my house I always described it as like a yearbook house or like a scrapbook house because it wasn't like a clean counter ever or a clean wall ever. It was always like, little knickknacks here and there and like uh, things all over the walls, like little cute letters that, my mom got 4 years, like just random stuff everywhere. And so I love that feeling. I honestly feel like I would feel quite unsafe if I lived in a house that was spotless. But I also think that it connects back to another thing that I'm kind of working through, which is my deep attachment to things and not being able to ever, give large amounts of my things away. And I've always been that way. Like from a very young age, I've been a little bit of a hoarder. Not like I want to be careful with that word because it is kind of does paint a more extreme picture, but um I just feel like so many people in my family are like that. And I think it's really connected to like if I give that dress away that I had when I was in high school, what happens in a year when I desperately need it? What am I going to buy another dress like that? Like I'm not going to waste my money. I don't have money to waste. Like or it goes deeper into like I don't know. It's just such a scarcity mindset thing.
Mhm.
And McKenna is different in that it's very much like, I know that when I release this thing, if I need it again, it'll come back into my life. Or I will have the funds to repurchase something like that or even better. And it's truly just a mindset thing. Like, it's not like our means are drastically different right now. It's just I'm too scared to let go of a lot of my things. And so therefore I just have a lot of things in my room. And it's so it's nice for me to be like, that's my crochet box, and that is my knickknack box, and that is my box of thrifted button downs, and that is my box of sweaters. Like I just love my things.
I love that, honestly. I think it's nice to have you both because I do feel like I'm sort of in the middle
Yeah, you
of the
are.
Yeah.
two.
You're like a perfect combo.
It's like
Yeah.
the outfit the other day. It was
Oh, it was a
Um,
perfect mix of you guys. I
Yeah.
literally put it on and I was like, these pants are Lara and this shirt is McKenna.
Yeah.
that made my day.
No,
Yeah.
Mal, I feel like you need to post that pic, like maybe on the grid. You looked so
Yeah,
good.
also because you looked really good.
You looked
I
good.
don't.
I was trying to figure out how to text this because I was like, Mal, you look like a hot mom in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was like, can you be my mom or something?
Aw.
Mommy?
Ken, what else is on your list?
Well, actually, I just have one more thought on this.
Okay.
And and that is that I will say with the stuff, Lara's stuff is different. And also Mal, I think you fall in the middle here. Lara's stuff feels different because you collect things that are cool and unique and mean something. Whereas a lot of my stuff was just what I had because I didn't have money to buy anything else. And just what I had to take from other people or like hand me downs that didn't fit me. All these things that weren't mine. I feel like I'm just entering my era of I'm collecting things that are mine. Like some of my most prized possessions are like I have a crock, like an old crock that Betty gave me, or like those that holds like our plant. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So like those sorts of things are like my like in my heart possessions, and I think I'll continue to collect those. But a lot of what I have right now is just for utility. I don't think what I have in my closet or in my life represents my style very much, just utility. And so that's also why it's like I don't really need that many utility things. I want more like, oh, this like warms my heart things.
Yeah, totally.
That makes
So yeah.
sense.
I only have one other thing really on my list, and it's kind of hard to explain, but I am once again a new person. So that's fun. And
Yay! Hello, McKenna.
hello. Version 528.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah. You're right.
She keeps getting better.
No, I cannot get into the nitty-gritty of it because no one's interested, and I already make Mal and Lara sit through the ramblings.
Correction. Everyone's interested. We just don't have time. We have to go make dinner.
Yes. But I will say the theme that I find so fascinating about my life recently is I feel like I come to my life with big questions or big asks, like, I am ready for this. And then I'm presented with a series of life events that forces me to be ready for that thing.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes those life events are the most brutal, like sobbing on the floor of your bathroom, want to be sick feelings. Right. But it is getting better. And through that process, I feel like I've been able to, I said this to Laura last night, like stitch myself back together in ways that I haven't been before. And understanding and knowing myself in new ways every single day. And just even changing the way that my initial response is, where I forgot to do something the other day. I was telling Laura this. I was like, I just forgot to do something. And my response was gentle and calm. And it was just like, that's okay. Let's just do it tomorrow. Even though it was something that couldn't be done tomorrow, because I missed it, it was a loss, right? But that's so different than what my brain used to do. And until you have the opposite, it's hard to recognize the mean way that your brain was acting. And it's groundbreaking to change your brain in such a way, like neuroplasticity, folks, but truly to change your brain in that foundational way is unreal. And I will never stop being grateful for it. But it's also, from that point, I'm catapulting into all these other life events that are weaving together and, informing a lot of things. And it's just the coolest. It's so hard and it's so scary, but it's just the coolest.
I'm
Yeah.
really happy for you.
Thanks.
I love hearing about your brain journey. And I know you were joking just now about like no one wants to hear, but like truly I think everyone wants to hear, but mostly me.
Well, you guys
We
are like,
we live vicariously through your growth.
Yeah. I'm like, dang, I'm doing so well this month, but it's really just
Yeah.
McKenna doing really well.
but I think that I'm also just uniquely tuned in to. I feel like if I was like, oh, this my mitochondria in here, just like
Yeah, you're very
you know what I mean? Which is yeah. I've also removed disclaimers almost entirely from my vocabulary, and I'm really working hard on not saying that things are silly or ridiculous
Mm-hmm.
or cutting myself down before. And that was just my therapist told me that, and I was like, "Yes, ma'am." Fixed.
Aye, that too.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah.
Can I tell a final story?
Oh, I would love that.
It's not a happy story.
Oh.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Is
We're
it about
ready.
you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot to tell you guys.
I'm scared. Are you okay?
No, it's not like sad. It's just like unpleasant.
Okay.
So I have a new friend named Emily, and I took Emily to
Sorry, a new
pickleball.
what?
Okay. Okay. I took Emily to play pickleball
Hey,
on
Emily. We love you. Just
on
kidding. I was joking.
on Sunday. So it was Ryan, Emily, and me at the pickleball courts, and there was the most people I've ever seen. So there's probably like 100 people playing
Whoa.
pickleball. It was about 45 minutes in between each game.
Pickle
Um,
sluts.
yeah,
Sorry.
so many pickleball people. So anyway, we get there. Dylan and Rachel are also supposed to be there, as is Connor and Sam. And so first, Dylan texted me that he ended up getting a flat tire on the way there and can't come. So that was weird.
Oh.
And then Connor and Sam got stuck in their building elevator, so they couldn't come. So anyway, that was already like
Scary.
weird start. So the three of us play a game with a random person, and then we have to like sit again for another 45 minutes before we're back up.
Oh.
And so we sit down on these benches next to this guy. And it's one of those benches where like every two seats there's like the metal in between. So it's me, Emily, the metal, this guy. And I didn't hear him say this, but when we sat down, can you guys hear that? Okay. When we sat down, the guy turned to Emily and said, "I'm not in the mood to chat. Like, I don't want to talk." And Emily was like, "Okay." Like, wasn't planning on talking to you, sir.
Wait,
but
and was this person like your age
Yeah.
range? Okay.
yeah, my age. Yeah. And he was wearing pickleball. He was clearly there to play pickleball.
But this wasn't the person that you played with.
No, this was just a random person we sat down next to. And so Emily and I were talking, Ryan was talking. So Ryan was like on the next bench over from me. And so at one point this guy interrupts and he's like, "Are you guys not listening to me?" And we're like, "Sorry, what?" And he was like, "I've been talking to you. Can you not hear me?" And we're like, What?" And so Emily turns to him and he's like, "What time does pickleball start?" And um and Emily's like, "What do you mean what time does pickleball start? Like, this is like our game? You're like, I don't know what you're asking." He's like, "Are you fucking dumb?" And Emily's like, "No, I just am really confused by what you're asking." And he was like, "I'm asking when pickleball starts." And she's like, I don't know how to answer that question. Like, I don't know what that means." And he's like, "Well, he was like, you're just like, basically, he was like, you're just ridiculous. This is absurd." So it escalates very quickly. And so basically I turned to him and I'm like, "You need to settle down. Like, you are escalating. I need you to settle." And Emily and I both kind of like turn away from him and he goes, "You guys are bitches." To us. It gets so much worse.
Oh
So
my
we're sitting there
God.
this whole time. I'm turning to Ryan and I'm mouthing, help, help. And Ryan is sitting there like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm mouthing help. I need help. Because this guy's like physically very close to us.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I
he's
was
within
wondering.
inches of us. And it's escalating really fast.
And did you feel like you guys needed to get up and move or?
Well, it was one of those situations, and Emily and I talked about it afterwards, where we're like, we almost didn't want to give him the satisfaction of us moving
Yeah.
because like I didn't want to move and have him be like, yeah, I won. But at the
Mhm.
same time, I like wanted to physically not be near him anymore. So I was sort of like trying to like toe the line between standing my ground, but also like wanting to get the fuck away from him.
I'm
And
shaking.
so
I'm a little nervous.
yeah. So anyway, he like keeps kind of like just yelling at us, talking at us. And finally, Ryan is like, do you guys want to sit on my bench? So Emily and I get up and we move to the other side of Ryan. And the guy gets up and follows us. And he turns to Ryan and he's like, do you guys want to play pickleball? Like, do you guys want to play a game? I'll be your fourth. And Ryan's like, I can't emphasize like how much we are not going to play pickleball with you. Like, we don't want to play. And he starts to get closer to Ryan to the point where he's like inches away from Ryan.
No.
And I can't even really remember what he said, but he basically like threatened Ryan. And Ryan's like, I'm gonna need you to back away. And so eventually he walks away after like he goes in Ryan's face and like literally bangs his chest in Ryan's
Oh
face.
my God. Okay. Scary.
And yeah, so he like walks away and we eventually we're up and we go get our paddles. On the way back, he like this guy like shoulder jabs Ryan
Shut up.
and like
No.
gets right in his face. And anyway, so we're over playing our game with not with him, with a fourth person. And we turn back and all we can hear is like yelling. So it turns out that this guy had missed his turn while he was talking to us. And now he was refusing to leave a court that he thought he should be playing on. And everyone is sort of like yelling at him. They're like, dude, you missed, like, we called your name or like your color like 10 times. You didn't respond, blah, blah. And he's like making a whole scene about it. He won't get off the court, blah, blah. He ends up like calling these other women bitches and like yelling at them. And eventually he just pulls down his pants and exposes himself to literally the whole line of people waiting to play pickleball. And
Yikes.
yeah, eventually they did call the police on
Yikes.
him. But yeah, they couldn't press charges or anything because no one wanted to like be the victim, and they can't press charges without a victim. So anyway, it was like pretty wild. I was telling Ryan, like, I've never been that I've never been harassed like that in my entire life. But I was thinking today in my helping skills class, I taught about fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And I was so proud that I did not have a fawn response. Like I was 1 minute away from actually like punching him. Like I was not in flight and I was not in freeze and I was not in fawn. I was like, I will fight this man. I'm literally not afraid. And I was really proud of myself because I think I usually don't default to that, but I was like ready to like, I was angry. You know how we've been talking about anger? I was angry. Yeah. And then Ryan and I have had some good conversations about bystander intervention. And now if I mouth help at you, that is need for intervention. So anyway, I felt really bad because Emily has just moved to DC like a week and a half ago. And I was like, I swear Arlington is not like this normally. So anyway, that's my
Wow.
story.
That's scary.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
it was pretty
scary.
awful.
But you're right, you never know until it's right in front of you.
Yeah. I mean, and I would like to add, like, he was unwell. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely don't think he was fully there. I think he didn't appear to be unwell, which is why, like, I think it caught us so off guard. It's like, you know, he didn't like, not to say like all unhoused people are aggressive, but he just like looked like an everyday pickleball guy who was there. So I think I I took him seriously at first. And then once I was like, oh, there's something that I think is a little up with him, it almost made me like have a little bit of empathy for like, I feel like he needs help. Like he needs some sort of support. So yeah.
Yeah, I think anytime you're around someone who's acting in a way like that or has just such scary behavior to have
Yeah.
to
No,
feel
it was
threatened.
erratic and unpredictable, which is the
Totally.
scariest.
The absolute scariest. And I think, whether it's a mental health thing or it's a substance thing or whatever's going on, I think it doesn't take away from the fact that like you can empathize with that, you can rationally understand that, you
Yeah.
can intellectualize that, but your body is like gonna feel the same fear no matter what, even if whatever the background is there, it's still the
Yeah.
same reaction.
Yeah. So anyway,
Scary. I'm glad you guys are okay and no one got in a fight.
no. No. I was about to fight, but but that did not happen.
Yeah, I'm
So
glad
yeah,
that didn't.
that's my update. All right, time for dinner.
Time for dinner.
Time for dinner.
Okay, love you guys.
I love you, Mal. I'm so excited for your new apartment. Can you send us
Me
the link, please?
too. Yes, Ryan has it. I need to get him to send it to me.
Douglas just had the weirdest. No.
All right.
We gotta
Okay.
go.
It's time
All
to
right,
go.
love you guys. Bye.
Love you.